Hey everyone, thanks for coming back for another anime figure opening video today. Today we're going to be opening up the Beatrice Dragon Dress version figure that came out in Japan a few weeks ago. I'm actually really excited to open this figure because I have not opened many ReZero figures that are not Rem and Ram. Occasionally we do get one or two Amelias, but unfortunately the quality of those figures aren't that great. And Beatrice, I'll be honest, is one of my favorite characters from this anime, so I'm really excited to have gotten this. Up until now, the only Beatrice thing I ever got was this tiny little keychain. It's adorable. Look at that little face there. But anyway, yeah, today we're going to be opening up the Dragon Dress version figure. So let's kick things off by taking a look at the box. So yes, as I mentioned, this is the ReZero Starting Life in Another World Beatrice Dragon Dress version figure. My god, that's a mouthful. And this is based on a very Chinese design. I only know this because after doing the Ram Dragon Dress version figure opening, I did a little bit of research and found out that is the style they were going for. So as you can see, this box, she has this very interesting Chinese clothing going on. The box also has all these lovely little lanterns in the background and these kind of golden cloud designs. It's very pretty and it looks very regal. And then of course Beatrice is on the front looking completely pissed off again, as always. We also have down here Sega, and then down here we have Jaya Prize. But that is pretty much the front. Moving on to the side, we just have a silhouette of Beatrice here. We also have the same title from the front. There's a few beautiful flowers going around the side there. And we have this gorgeous dragon in the background. That looks really pretty. But there's not too much going on there. Then if we go to the other side, we have a non-silhouette version, an actual photo of Beatrice looking at us again, really pissed off. Sorry if I'm using that word too much. But there's also the same pattern in the background, the dragon, the same diagonal lines here as there were here. So very pretty there. And then finally on the back we have a lot of safety information. Again, we have our warnings like be careful, there's a few points down here. And an interesting point for us to note this time is that you have to be over 15 years old to get this or buy this or use this or win this or whatever. Or at least that's the recommended age, because this has so many pieces. There's what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different pieces there, again with our different shapes. So we'll have a look at those together in a bit. But there is also a warning to be careful not to hurt yourself, so that means there are also a few sharp bits in here. So this is going to be a fun one. Woo! Anyway. And then on the top, we just have ReZero Dragon Dress version there for our Beatrice. So, nothing really to see there. Anyway, let's get this figure open. Okay, and in with the knife, I'm guessing, have 3 bits of tape here. Yeah, I was really excited to win this, actually. I saw it in the game center, and originally I wasn't planning to get the Rem because I didn't think the quality was too great. But how often do they release a Beatrice figure? I was so excited. So I didn't have any choice but to win it. Which also means I now have to get the Rem. So look forward to that video coming soon. I guess big spoiler for the future. Well, not really spoiler. Anyway, right, let's open this up. And it's cardboard! Woohoo! And it's a terrible amount of cardboard. Okay, that wasn't very well secured. What the hell's gone on there? Alright, we don't need that, just throw it away. God, that was loud, Jesus. And then pulling this out here, we have a stand. Looks very similar to the other one, but we'll check that in a second. And we also have a lot of bubble wrap. Oh, and also this, whatever this is. Again, we don't need that. Get rid of that. So, give me a second and we'll just quickly unpackage this. Okay, so as you can see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 separate pieces for this figure. That's a lot of pieces. So this is going to take a little while for us to put together. So let's go through bit by bit. Here we go. Okay, so our stand. And here is the stand. And as you can see, this is a pink color and has the exact same gold pattern that we had on our Ram Dragon Dress figure. Even the text is in the exact same place, so there is not really too much to talk about here, although the design is of course still very interesting. There are 2 holes for her feet, and on the back down here we just have some information. Kadokawa, ReZero, Sega, made in China. So nothing special there. And actually I'm kind of disappointed that it hasn't changed at all. But I hope that the rem will be the same. If that's the case, it'll have just a nice theme together. But anyway, simple stand. And the figure herself, and wow, this figure looks very, very pretty, even without all those millions of accessories not put into her body. So let's quickly go through them, because as you can see, there are massive gaping holes that we really don't want to be sticking out. So first of all, we have this one in a weird kind of shape, looks like a diamond when you put it this way, and that goes in this side. Okay, so let's put you in here. There's one. Ooh, very pretty already. And then we have the second one over here, which is in a very odd shape too, which we have to fit into this hole. There we go. And there is her hair. Oh, already very, very pretty. But we also have to get these into these positions. Now this one has an L shape and this one has an L shape too. So what we have to do here is very, very carefully put this in there. And then we also have to do the same on the other side over here. And as you can see, this one has a odd pattern too, like a T, which has to fit into this piece here. I'm guessing there. Oh, that went nicely. And there we go. That is part of her scarf that she's holding there. Now she is missing one bit. She is holding her hand very strangely in the air, so we have to put in her fan. And how does this go in, you ask? Well, I'm also asking too. There's actually a tiny, tiny little slot here on her hand. Come on, camera. I trust you can focus. Like, there we go. Tiny little slot there for this tiny little thing to go into. So we'll just chuck that in there like that, if it will go in. And there's also a slot here for this part of the fan too, so that that also holds nicely there. Now this does make it a little bit difficult for the other area there because it doesn't want to go too nicely. As you can see, I'm having a bit of trouble here. But there we go, we finally have it in. And wow, this looks really, really pretty. So let's get straight into reviewing. So starting off with her face, as you can see, she has these beautiful blue eyes with this gorgeous butterfly pattern in the middle. This is the same on the other figures and also in the anime. She also has two eyebrows very, very high up over here, which gives her a more annoyed look. Her nose is also sticking out, and then her mouth is absolutely tiny, again helping her look really, really annoyed. Her hair is split into two sides over here, and it comes down in this beautiful blonde color all the way down to a clearer plastic here at the bottom. Again, I love that design on these figures, and that is the same on this side too. On her head, instead of a top hat, she is wearing a small little crown. This is also very, very pretty, and it makes it even more regal. Actually, that's gorgeous. Look at that. Wow. And then also she has these beautiful pink bows with a white ruffle on the outside and a little scrunchie or flower there on both sides. And these here, of course, are connected to her very, very spirally hair, which is actually extremely flexible. I mean, look how much I can move that. That's really cool. That's actually hollow all the way inside. I wish I could show you, but there's no good angle to get. But that goes down from the blonde color to a clearer pink at the bottom. And that is exactly the same on this side. So from behind, you can also see this over here. The only problem I feel is that the connected part here and here, where it is actually a bit more malleable, is really, really obvious, and that could have been covered a little bit nicer, I feel. But again, you're looking at the figure from this angle, so you don't really see it too much. But there you go, that is her face and hair. Now moving down her body, you can see that she is wearing this one-piece dragon dress, according to the box. This is just a traditional Chinese dress, and it has these beautiful, beautiful butterflies all the way down the front, and there are also a few on the back here. It's very, very pretty. You can also see that she has this little bow at the top up here, holding this bit together in the middle, and she also has a bow on her waist here. Not too sure why, it's not actually holding anything closed, but it's just nice for style. You can also see that she has this massive, massive scarf on. It looks very, very furry. This is very, very pretty, and the detail is really impressive, actually. As you saw at the beginning, we had to connect this onto the ends, so it's a little bit flimsy, but it is holding okay so far. Let's not jinx it. But these have little bobbles on the sides here, just in little partings, and going all the way down into some points. And it just adds a whole new level of depth to this figure. Of course, it covers up her arms a little bit, which is a shame, but that's not a massive problem. Oh, sorry, wires are going everywhere. So while we're on the topic of her arms, as you can see, they go down. One hand is sticking out like this, with one finger kind of sticking up and the rest kind of hanging down. Very cool, although the detail is pretty shoddy. I mean, look at that thumb, it looks very sharp and rough. And then over here in her other hand, she is holding the fan. Again, a little bit more detail there because it actually looks like she is holding the fan. But my God, look at this. There's a beautiful texture for each different part of the fan where it would fold out. And then there is also this beautiful fluffy design on the top. Now, from a design perspective, this actually looks beautiful. I love this lovely rough design on the top. It looks very pretty. But in terms of practicality, it's not very practical, I feel. How would this even close? Is it always going to stay open? If that's the case, why do they have these patterns? Why not just make it one solid piece? But I'm just nitpicking for the hell of it. And as I showed you earlier, it's connected into the scarf here and into her hand here, so the chance of it falling out with a little bit of shaking is pretty slim. So that's very nice. Moving even further down her dress, you can see that her dress comes off in 2 folds here, and this again is extremely malleable. You can see so much under here, and I'll show you that in a second. But this white is very pretty here, and this bow, I mean, it just looks so detailed. It's such a small part of this figure, but just this one alone looks like they've put a lot of effort into it. And this is of course the same on the back with these 2 white layers here. Again, very malleable. Why is that so malleable? That's really weird. And then finally, moving into her legs. Her legs are extremely long and extremely slender, which is impressive. And then down here we also have her shoes. Not much to talk about here, but they're not actually but ugly. They are very shiny and a little bit pretty. The heels are nicely detailed, the coloring's pretty good. And also we can see that there are 2 little points here where her feet are going to go into the stand. So everything's been nicely thought through. Okay, that's that. So let's get this figure into her stand. And there we go, there she is in her stand. And oh my God, this is such a pretty figure. I'm really happy I picked this one up. She again cost about 2,000 yen in the game center, so if you're going to try and win her, definitely try that way. It's more fun. But what a big improvement from the Ram Dragon Dress figure. So let's have a few pretty shots of our beautiful Beatrice. Let's take a look. Okay, let's go and find somewhere for you on the shelf. Let's go for a walk. So again, this is very pretty. I'm very impressed with the quality of this figure. And she's going to go over here on this other shelf because this is where we have put our Ram figure. And just to note, as you can see, there is one stand, there is the other stand. They're basically the exact same thing. So it's kind of disappointing. Not a big detail, but you can see there's not much difference there. But just in terms of quality, you can see how pretty this is compared to that one. There's nothing really going on there. But there you have it. That is our Beatrice Dragon Dress figure. Very pretty. So thanks again for tuning in. If you enjoyed today's video, give us a like and please subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. Okay, bye.
you.